Good day, everyone. I'm going to be discussing the first year Excel budget as a part of your final assessment project for this course. So the first part of the um, Excel budget, I'm going to cover the rubric and I'll come back up to this detail sheet. So it says here that formula use, it says spreadsheet uses the five features, which are formulas, cell references, absolute references, cell range names, and if formula to represent all data. So anywhere there are numbers, right, raw data, there can be numbers. But anytime there's a calculation, it should be done using range names as well as formulas and also absolute references to where the data came from. Okay, the spreadsheet use and efficiency. The spreadsheet represents all of the data that is important to your business type, and is presented in an easy to use format. So it makes sense. The assets and the liabilities, or the sales and the expenses, it's clearly defined in a logical order, and we're able to see what's there, and everything that is pertaining to your business that should be there is there. So, for example, you haven't forgotten something like labor or payroll, or if you're in a restaurant, you haven't forgotten food cost, or possibly the expense for gas to cook, right? The expense for lighting, for electric, things like that. Those need to be there. Um, your graphs or charts, you should have four graphs or charts that are visually appealing and represent key data, right? So obviously, the first one you should always have there would be sales. You should have some sort of a chart that will show your sales over the year, right? You should have something that represents expenses over the year. The other two would be key to your business. So again, if you're a restaurant, well then food cost may be something that you would want to track, because that's important for a restaurant to track how much you're spending on food, because you are a restaurant. That's going to be your number one expense, right? Um, then it comes to creativity and presentation. The submission is professional. It has minimum calculation errors and uses non-conventional methods to highlight and exhibit data. Conditional formatting is used to express key areas. So when a condition exists, there's going to be the way your page looks will be affected. Okay. The data is organized by accounts and separated in logical order. So you have your, like I mentioned before, your sales and your expenses are clearly separated. So now, to give you a little bit more detail on this, right? I said here the spreadsheet needs to use the five formulas. You'll notice that this is right from the rubric, and this is the description over here to the side. So you will need to show all five skills. Formulas should be used for all calculations. Cell references, there should be no numbers used for calculations. It should all be cell addresses. Absolute referencing should be used. For example, $A, $1 to refer to a constant cell. Cell ranges and names should be used, and there should be at least the use of one if formula. Your spreadsheets should be set up like this. So sheet 1 should be a month by month breakdown of sales minus expenses, listing only major accounts, showing the profit and loss by month and year. Sheet 2 should be a sales breakdown by day to total to the month. Reference these totals for the first sheet. So basically this information from sheet 2 will then be sourced to sheet 1. So any changes on sheet 2 would automatically affect sheet 1. Okay? Then sheet 3, you'll do the same thing, but now with expenses. Okay? So it'll be basically sheet 2 and sheet 3 will be done first, and then sheet 1 will come from those sheets. All right? The four graphs, again, recommend that you use two charts for sales and revenue and two charts for the expenses and liability sheet. Try to give all four charts a title, and make sure you label both the X and the Y axis where they are. So it's hard to tell what is being charted if you don't label things, okay? So it's important to label everything. For the formatting, all currency cells should have a currency format with a $sign, right? All cells should use the should have borders or be customized table. The sheets and the tabs should be labeled. The color and the design should be added to enhance, not detract, and the conditional formatting should be used. Therefore, if a condition is met, the formatting will be applied automatically. This here should be the $sign, right? The last part here, the data is organized. It refers to the sheets and the data, making sure that one is an overview of information contained on sheet 1 is what is contained on sheets 2 and 3, right? So you use cell referencing to access that on sheet 1. Sheet 2 should be sales and assets. There shouldn't be expenses on sheet 2, right? There should just be the sales and the assets of the business. Sheet 3 should be any expenses and liabilities, right? So try to keep these things organized so that you get the best possible score on your budget, okay? And again, this can only be done in Microsoft Excel. You are not to submit a PDF, right? Because the only way that your lecturer can grade your Excel budget is to be able to ensure that all of these conditions are met. And we can only do that if we have access to the Excel spreadsheet. So if you submit anything other than Excel spreadsheet, it will not be graded. Okay? All right. Thank you.